All right. So if you're sitting on the floor, grab a blanket or a couple of blankets and use that as a lift. If you're going to sit in a chair, go ahead and grab your chair and sit slightly forward on the seat and have your feet firmly planted on the floor. So if you're sitting in a chair, it'll look like this. Sitting slightly forward, feet parallel to one another, hip bone width apart. By sitting forward, it's going to help you get more lift in your spine, which is the same thing the blanket is helping the rest of us here on the floor. If you're sitting on the floor, go ahead and sit with your legs crossed, feet forward and underneath your knees. And then everyone bring your hands forward. Interlace your fingers deep into the webbing and then press your palms forward. As you press your palms forward, pull your thumbs back, pull your pinky fingers back. You keep stretching your arms out. We're starting to open the wrists, the shoulders, the arm muscles. On your next inhalation, extend your arms up overhead. Use your arms to lift your waistline up, to lift your side chest up. And see if you can gently press your upper arms, your bicep muscles in close to your head, and take a breath. On your next exhalation, lower your arms down, turn your palms back in. Take your opposite pinky finger and bring it underneath your hand hold. So just moving your fingers over one digit. Now press your palms forward again. Same thing, pull your thumbs back, your pinky fingers back, to keep pressing out through the other 6 knuckles, and then inhale your arms up. Notice how as you lift your arms up, it gives you that greater capacity to create space through your side body, through your abdomen, your lower back. See that you're breathing. And then exhale your arms down again. Turn your palms in. And then bring your arms down and alongside you, either onto the seat of the chair or alongside your hips on the floor. Now, go ahead and close your eyes. And notice the sensations you may feel in your arms, your torso. You may feel that it's more alert, more energetic. Keep this lift through your chest. You bring your palms together right at the base of your sternum. Gently press your thumbs into your chest to help keep your chest lifted. And then let's just take a few moments here and check in with our breath. So don't try to change it or shape your breath in any way. Just feel yourself breathing. Notice if your breath is fast or slow. Notice if it's deep or shallow. Perhaps you may notice that just by bringing your attention to your breath, that your breath begins to change. Let's stay here just 2 or 3 more breaths. Now stay tall through your spine, particularly your lower back, and then exhale, bow your head, release your hands, open your eyes, and lift your gaze. So we're going to do a seated twist, and you can do this here in the chair as well. So everyone bring your right hand behind you. Press down into your right hand, lift your waistline up just like we did. We had our arms overhead, and then stretch your left arm up. Now turn your torso from left to right and bring your up hand down and onto your opposite leg. Press into both hands and use your arms to lift your waistline up. So from the top of your hips, lift. Lift all the way up into your armpits. Keep your armpits lifted, but relax your shoulders and then turn and look over your right shoulder. Take a couple of breaths. Now, your next inhalation, stay tall through your spine, and then exhale, come forward. Let's do that on the other side. Left hand behind you. Press into your left hand, lift up. So feel this length in your spine and then the lift in your chest. Stretch up with the opposite arm and turn your torso to the left. Bring your right hand down. Press down into both hands. So we use our arms to create space in our spine and in our chest. Take 2 more full breaths here. Look back and over your left shoulder. And on your next exhalation, stay lifted through your lower back and then come back to center. If you're seated on the floor, go ahead and change the cross of your legs. If you're in the chair, just stay there. Recommit to your feet being parallel, press down into the floor. And we'll do one more time on this side, on both sides again. Right hand behind you. Press down into the right hand. Lift your torso up. Stretch up through the opposite arm. And make sure that both sides of your waist is evenly lifted. Relax your shoulders, but keep lifting your armpits. And then turn your torso to the right. Bring the left hand down. Press down into the left hand and lift up on the left side. Take a breath. This time, look back and over your left shoulder. So you're looking forward, more toward the computer. One more breath. On your next exhalation, bring your head to the center of your chest and then come back to center. Last time through, Sukhasana twist. Bring your left hand back. Press into the left hand. Lift up. Roll your left shoulder onto your back. So you're starting to open the side chest. Now reach up with the opposite arm. Both sides of your waist evenly lifted. Now turn, turn, turn. Bring your right hand down. Press into both hands and lift your lower abdomen up even more. Notice as you lift up and create more space in the spine, the capacity to turn gets greater. Now, keeping your lower spine lifted, your upper spine lifted, look out and over your right shoulder. Take a couple more breaths. And then release. On your exhalation, bring your head to the center of your chest and then bring your torso forward. Go ahead and stretch your legs out. Reach out through your heels, press into your hands, lift your chest, and take a couple of breaths. Press the fronts of your thighs back and down and into the backs of your thighs. And then release. All right. So if you're in the chair, watch. I want you to come up and you can, I'm gonna just show and then you can all do it together. You're gonna bring your hands onto the seat of the chair, walk back, and have your arms straight, spine straight, and you can just bend your knees slightly. If bending your knees is too much, you can keep your legs straight, but reach your hips away from your hands, okay? If you're on the floor, go ahead and come onto your hands and knees and bring your big toes together. Walk your hands out, stretch your hips back. Bring your hips back as far as you can. Perhaps you can bring your hips to sit on your heels. But in either position, really extend your arms straight. So the same work we were doing when we had our arms overhead again, you want to feel that same length on your side body, through your side chest. Take a couple more breaths. And then go ahead and walk your hands in. If you're at the chair, walk your feet in toward the chair. If you're on your hands and knees, go ahead and come up to standing. All right. I'm going to do a little bit more opening of the chest here. So go ahead and grab your strap or a towel or a belt or a necktie. I'm going to lift my camera a little bit. Now, take your strap and drape it over your right shoulder. Go ahead and stand in your mountain pose. So a mountain pose is similar to sitting in the chair. It's like stand with your feet hip bone width apart, feet parallel to one another, and really press into your legs. You want to press into your legs so much that you feel like this rebound action, that you start to feel your waistline lifting up. Now gently roll your outer shoulders onto your back so you open your chest. Now go ahead and extend your left arm out. Reach the arm as if you're reaching from the center of your chest, and then rotate the arm so the thumb face down, and then reach around your back. Take your opposite hand, you can hold on to your hand and see if you can draw your forearm across your body a little bit more. Now, the tendency is to drop this shoulder, the left shoulder, lift it up. Now bring your right arm out to the side, rotate the palm so the palm face up, reach the arm up again. Create length on both sides of your waist. Now bend the elbow, take your left hand up your back, and either hold onto the strap or interlace your fingers. Either way, lift the left arm up again, well, left armpit up again. And then stretch your elbows away from one another and breathe. So we're opening the chest, opening our shoulders, creating this greater capacity to breathe. One more breath, and then release. Slowly lift the top arm up, bottom arm out, bring both arms out to the side, roll your inner arms up toward the ceiling, press into your feet, and then inhale, lift your arms up. Turn your palms away, and then exhale your arms down. Just do that much on the second side. So if you're using a strap, bring it onto the left shoulder. Stand tall, stand firmly into the legs, bring your right arm out to the side. Stretch from the center of your chest. You want to feel the side of your chest opening. You want to feel your bicep muscles opening. Then rotate the right arm to your thumb face down. Reach back and around your back. Use your opposite hand to draw the hand across your back a little bit more. And then go ahead and take your left arm out to the side. Then rotate it up so the palm faces up. Reach your arm up overhead. Get tall on both sides of your waist. So really lift the right armpit up. Roll the right shoulder into your back. Bend the top elbow. Lift your right hand up your back and hold onto the strap or interlace your fingers. Now, stretch your elbows away from one another. So it may feel like you're trying to pull your fingers apart or like you're pulling the strap away from itself. That's okay. Take 2 more breaths here. And then release. Extend the top arm up, bottom arm down, both arms out to the side. Roll your inner arms up toward the ceiling and then stretch your arms up overhead. Turn your palms away from one another and then exhale your arms down. Take your strap off to the side. So if you're on the floor with me, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. If you're using a chair, you're going to take your chair, but this time you're going to turn the back rest of the chair toward you. And then watch. You're going to bring your hands onto the back rest of your chair and step back. You can start with your knees bent because by bending the knees, it gives you greater capacity to stretch the hips back and then reach your hips back and straighten the legs. So it's a modified downward facing dog, okay? Everyone who's on the floor with me, go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. Place your hands. Bring them as wide as your shoulders, or maybe even a little bit wider. If you know your shoulders are tight, go ahead and make your hands a little wider. Turn your hands out a little bit so your index finger is pointing forward. Press into your hands, lift your bent knees up, have your feet hip bone width apart, and with your knees bent, stretch. Reach your hips back and away from you. Just like that previous pose we did, downward facing hero. Now with your knees bent, lift your hips up, straighten your legs. You can be high onto the balls of your feet. Keep pressing down into your hands. Keep lifting your hips up. I'm gonna come up and look. Very nice. Now move your upper chest forward. It's just like having your hands behind your back. Press your chest forward. Nice. Now bring your knees to the mat. If you're using the chair, bend your knees and just walk into the chair. And then everyone go ahead and come back up to standing. Stand in your mountain pose and take a breath. Feel the energy and the sensations in your body. All right. Let's grab our strap again. So this time, take your strap. If you have, let's take the strap or your towel. Bring your hands behind your back. And this time, notice how I turn my arms. I rotate my arms in the shoulder joint so the palms face toward my body. And you can have your hands as wide as your shoulders or even wider. Right? Now, first, let's start a mountain pose. Press into your feet, lift up. Gently pull your hands away from one another and keep rolling your shoulders onto your back. So you want to feel like this opening and broadening across the top of your chest. Now, take your feet, step them wide. Turn both feet to the right, both legs to the right. Now press into your left foot. Bring your left side of your body more and more to the right. So you're facing over your right foot. Keep pulling your hands away from one another. Keep lifting your armpits up. And on your next exhalation, come forward from your hips. Only come as far forward as you feel stable, but no more than halfway where you're parallel to the floor. Reach your arms from your shoulders out into your fingertips. Take a breath. Keep stretching your spine out of your hips. And then press into your feet. And inhale, come up. Turn your feet to parallel. You can release the strap for a moment and breathe. Going to do that on the other side. Take your strap again. Hold on to it behind your back. Roll your arms, your upper arms. So you're moving from your shoulder joint and rolling your chest open. Now rotate both legs again, but this time to the left. Press into your left foot, make both legs straight, and bring the whole outside of your right side of your body to the left. Now gently pull the strap away from you, your hands away from one another, and then come forward. As you come forward, stretch your hips back, stretch your torso forward. So it's like downward facing dog in the upper body. Only come down as far as you feel steady, no more than halfway down. Take a couple of breaths. And then press into your feet and inhale, come up. Turn your feet to parallel. Step your feet together. Just release the strap. Just hold on to it. We're going to use it one more time. Take a couple of breaths. Right. So I'm going to turn my mat just so you can see, but you don't have to turn yours. So we're going to use the strap the same way, but this time you're going to have both our legs. You're going to come forward into a wide leg forward bend. Right? So take your strap again, bring it behind you, rotate your upper arm so your palms face in toward your body, and go ahead and separate your hands as much as you need to feel spacious across your chest and feel that you can breathe. Now, stand with your heels at the back edge of your mat and step your feet nice and wide again. Maybe a little wider than we were a moment ago. And have the outside of your feet parallel to the short edges of your mat. Now, it's a tendency to let our hips or our thighs drift forward. Take your thighs back so they're in line with your ankle. Be tall, pull your hands away from one another, and then come forward again. So if you can come forward halfway so that your chest is parallel to the floor, bring your hips forward and keep them in line with your hips or your ankles So now it feels like you're kind of peeking out and over the front edge of your mat. Take a couple of breaths. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come up. Walk your feet together. Release your strap. Go ahead and take it off to the side. We're done with the strap for the day. Let's do one more down dog. You can use the chair, or you can come onto your hands and knees. So if you're coming onto your hands and knees, go ahead and do that. If you're using the chair, remember it looks like this. Feet parallel, arms straight, spine straight, legs straight. On your hands and knees, have your hands a little wider than your shoulders. Rotate your hands so that your index fingers are going forward. Press into your hands, make your arms straight. Lift your bent knees up and stretch your torso away from your arms. So you're moving your chest more and more toward your legs. Keep lifting your hips up and then straighten your legs. Be high onto your toes today. It's like a high heel down dog. Take a couple of breaths. Roll your upper arms as if you're trying to get your shoulders to come onto your back. And then release. Knees to the mat. If you're using a chair, bend your knees and walk in. All right. So go ahead and grab a blanket. If you're going to be on the floor. If you're not going to come onto the floor, you can just sit in the chair and do your savasana or your resting pose in the chair. So you just sit in the chair, but if you're going to do it that way, just instead of sitting forward in the chair this time, like before you were here, just go ahead and sit back into the chair. Okay? Everyone else, go ahead and come with your knees bent, lie back and down. Bring the blanket or whatever, or your pillow underneath your head, down to the tops of your shoulders. And let's just stay here for a moment with our knees bent. If you're in the chair, just sit there with your hands resting on your thighs or the seat of the chair and take a breath. Now, if you're lying on your mat, hold on to the sides of your mat. Stretch your hands toward your feet. Roll your upper arms. Again, so your chest opens. If you're in the chair, hold on to the side of your chair, the seat of your chair. Press your hands down into the seat of your chair. And again, roll your upper arms so that your chest lifts. Now, keep this lift through your chest. If you're lying on a mat, go ahead and stretch one leg straight. Bring your foot wider than your hip. And then do the same on the other side. Keep stretching your hands toward your feet and then let your legs be heavy. And then release your hands. So if you're sitting in a chair, keep your chest lifted. So you can relax your hands. Bring your hands and rest them on your thighs. And then everyone, go ahead and close your eyes. Allow your eyes to soften back and away from your eyelids. And relax your tongue away from the top of your mouth. Just like we did at the very beginning of class. Resisting any temptation to shape your breath. Bring your awareness to your breath. Just begin to notice the qualities of your breath. The speed of your breath. The depth of your breath. And even the texture. Noticing if it's smooth or if it's rough. Notice if it comes easeful, or if you feel like you have to work at it. You can stay here as long as you like, but if you're ready, then wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can rotate your wrist in one direction and then the opposite. And then if you're lying on the floor, go ahead and bend one knee and bring your foot to your mat. And then the other. Roll to one side. And support your head with your upper arm. And just take a moment there. And then when you're ready, press down into your hands. And come up and take a seat. Sit firmly through your legs. Sit tall through your spine. Bring your palms together again, right at the base of your sternum. Gently press your hands into your chest. Bring your awareness inward. Feeling the movement of your breath, sensations in your body. May your practice today help you to be more and more comfortable, more and more at home within yourself. From the light in my heart to the light in yours, I bow. Namaste.